Okay, so my first video for today is going to be a quick update video for those who are curious. And if you watch it before you watch the lecture video, then you will understand partly, hopefully, why I'm even more distracted. I'm going to be doing a first off apology that the yard guy's working back there. And so it might suddenly get loud. I'm hoping that maybe I can do one video, then he does it, then the next. I'm not really sure. But I want to do an update about my mom. I've been posting updates. A few of you have, sent me messages, and thank you for that. It is a rather trying time. We thought we finally had the answer to everything. And my daughter and I went and saw her yesterday at the hospital after we went and checked out a rehab place. So then she could go from the hospital to rehab and then hopefully back to her apartment and then take care of her bird, that kind of thing. And then we got to the hospital, had a visit, brought her some stuff. They took some blood while we were there. She was complaining about it because she's really tiny at this point and very tired of having them take blood. But I was explaining to her the reason they have to take the blood is in order to test everything because she keeps having internal bleeding, which makes her hemoglobin drop. And the only way they find out about this is by, constantly testing the blood to see how much is in there. And we thought everything had been fixed. And because they had done a colonoscopy and found an issue where there was bleeding, they closed it up. So we're like, yay, we finally found it. However, because of this, she can't take the medicine she needs in order to dissolve the blood clot in her lung, the pulmonary embolism. So that's super dangerous because if you have a pulmonary embolism, they do have medication to give you, but you have to take it for 6 months in order to help dissolve that clot. So then you're not at risk anymore. She's only been on the medicine for a month, and they had decided that maybe that's what was causing the bleeding issue. And so they did the procedure. Well, they gave her the medicine after they thought everything was done. Then she started bleeding again in a couple of hours, which led to the initial colonoscopy and the discovery of this one spot. They fixed it. They said no more Eliquis. It's just going to have to be, let's hope you can deal with this pulmonary embolism. Because it really is to the stage of there's literally nothing they can do. So Isabel and I visit, take blood, visit's fine. We leave, we have lunch, I'm getting phone calls. And then it turns out the blood that they took while we were there showed that she had internal bleeding again. It had dropped. They needed to give her 2 more bags of blood. And the doctor did a deep dive into her medical history and said that she believes that she might have what's called Hades syndrome, HEYDE''S syndrome. And it matches perfectly because that syndrome is characterized by the bleeding in the colon and aortic stenosis, which she also has. So she's got aortic stenosis and a narrow valve in her heart. And so now back with the GI doctors, and they're bringing in the cardiologist, and they're bringing in a hematologist because apparently pushing the blood through a narrow valve in the heart can damage the blood, which might also be part of the problem. So as of today, she's going back for yet another colonoscopy to see if there's another spot that's bleeding, and they're trying to get the cardiologist in there to discuss the aortic stenosis and the narrowed valve, and they're bringing the hematologist in order to try to test if she has any kind of uh, damaging stuff happening to her blood, which could also be the cause. If they find she does definitely have the Hades syndrome, and if they say that the blood is being damaged by going through the narrowed valve, then they will see if she can qualify for a particular procedure where back in the day they used to have to crack open your ribs to get to your heart and fix it. Now they can do a thing where they put it through your artery and go down through the aorta in order to get to the valve to help fix it. So she might have to have that done. Um, it's a lot. It is really a lot. So hoping that it all gets fixed, but I don't know. And in the meantime, she's very much stressing and her mind seems to keep coming and going. And so I will get the most confusing messages from her. And then I try to address them, but I don't really understand what is being asked. And I have to keep reminding her what doctors have said because she will say, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah," and then not remember anything. And then randomly call relatives and tell them that she's transferring hospitals, which she's not. And so her mind is having a hard time with it. And that is part of why I am not as hands on as I would like, but I'm still trying and I'm dedicating today to getting caught up. So you've got everything graded because you need that. And I'm trying to answer questions. I am also in just a moment because you can see the yard got behind me. Um, I'm going to give them a moment to finish here in the backyard. And then I'm going to record a lecture video for you to, I don't know, show you more of what it's like in class, cover a few topics that I think are important to cover, and it will be very beneficial to your term, the big paper that you're supposed to write. So yeah, so that's it. It's getting loud now. I don't know if it is to you, but it is to me. And I will be back and do the lecture video in just a moment. Thanks.